Savage Dragon issue 4 from September of 1993. So the last issue, we met the Fiend, who's this villain that takes over people's bodies, and there was a breakout at this prison, and finally they're about to find what was in that basement. First note on the credits, for some reason there's this joke about Squeaky Larson, Squeaky Olaf. I missed the joke. What else is going on? So finally we meet Horridus, who's been in the basement here. And apparently her parents thought she was a freak and just had her locked up. And so she's finally, and these cops are too afraid to go down there and get her, but not the dragon. And looks like, let's see. Yeah, we finally get, now Horridus is about to join the police force, I think. And this Amanda Mills character is trying to understand why the dragon isn't interested in her romantically. So this guy's like Captain Stewart. He's trying to get Freak Force created on the police department. So he's got Dart, Dragon. He wants to add this Horridus character. And then we get Barbaric and Ricochet, these two. And they're going to join the force later. But right now they're homeless, just trying to survive. And they're fighting this big bloated cesspool character. Dart lights him up with the darts, and he explodes there. It's pretty good. So let's see. That's going to come back to bite her, I think. That's excessive force. So Captain Stewart tries to invite Barbaric and Ricochet onto the team, but apparently Ricochet is too young and also has too much junk in the trunk. Look at this. Somebody notes this in the letters page later, but Barbaric's arm kind of goes under her legs, but if you don't really pay attention to him, it looks like she just has a huge butt, maybe? I don't know. Sorry. All right, so what else happens here? There's a Flips comic here with Adam Hughes. So I think last issue or something, he mentioned that Adam Hughes and Carl Kessel were going to be working on an annual for Savage Dragon. Well, this isn't an annual, but they do put in a good story here. This introduces us to Rapture, this electric character here. So she is a sex worker who is about to kill this dude, but I believe it's her pimp. And Ricochet stops her. They have a fight. And I think, and the art's really, it's Adam Hughes. Pretty great. And Ricochet talks Rapture out of killing this guy. Oh, but she ends up popping his head off. Jesus. I think he shoots at her or something. So he forces their hand. Then we get the ad for Freak Force, which will be coming up at the end of the year. Oh, I think one note here. I think this is the first time we see Josh Eckhorn's name. I think that's how you pronounce that. Hired Goon. So he's like an assistant for Erik Larsen. He says he fills in blacks and does a whole bunch of other stuff for the comic. But he's noted because for the next however many years, Eichhorn is credited with a different name every time, so we'll try and note some of those. He's Hired Goon on this back one. So let's see what else we got here. A couple more comics from the Larsenverse. Super Patriot and Vanguard. This is pretty great. Peter David versus Todd McFarlane, which was a debate they were going to have at the Philly Comic-Con or Comic Fest 93. If you've never seen it, it's pretty wild. I mean, they had issues, Image and Peter David, specifically McFarlane and Peter David. And so they had a debate that was hyped up at this convention. McFarlane came out as like a boxer and like wasn't wearing a shirt or anything. So I think in hindsight, it's pretty juvenile, but I guess it was a big deal back then. So what else? Fanatics, I didn't notice anything too noteworthy except for the first appearance of Olav Beamer in the letters page. Olav is like a letter hack, writes to a bunch of comics, but he's definitely known on the Fanatics page he's in every issue basically with the letter. And there's others like that. I think Augie DeBleck Jr. will make an appearance soon. So that was issue 4. Check out issue 5 next.